The truth behind TPM, BitLocker and Windows 11's forced upgrade TPM, BitLocker, Secure Boot. They sound like security features, but once you see how they actually work, you'll understand why millions of users feel cornered.
February 2026, a Reddit thread titled Windows 11 Update Bricked My PC. Lost everything. 3 days of work gone. Hits 94,000 upvotes overnight. The comments are a disaster zone. Blue screens, lost files, computers that won't turn on. Not from a virus, from a routine Windows update, the kind Microsoft forces on you whether you want it or not. And this isn't a one-off. Microsoft's own support pages document over 20 major update problems in 2025 alone. But here's the part nobody's talking about. While these updates are crashing your computer, they're also quietly collecting everything you do. You own this computer. Microsoft runs it. The update that bricked thousands of PCs.
You don't have enough fingers to count the ways that Microsoft has ruined Windows just this year alone. Patch Tuesday is now a dreaded experience for people everywhere as they wait to see how their operating system gets borked in new and creative ways. The initial one broke all sorts of aspects, left people unable to shut down their PCs or remote into them. Then Outlook broke. Then there were account permission issues for things like Notepad, Paint, Snipping Tool, Terminal, and more.
Let's start with what just happened. January 2026. Microsoft releases its regular Patch Tuesday update, KB5083769, for Windows 11 versions 24H2 and 25H2. Standard stuff, security patches, bug fixes, except it wasn't standard. Thousands of users install it and their computers refuse to boot afterward. Not slow to boot. Not boot with errors. Just off, black screen. A crash code that reads unmountable _boot_volume. A dead machine. Microsoft investigated and found that the devices affected by these boot failures had previously failed to install the December 2025 security update. When that earlier update rolled back, Windows was left in what Microsoft called an improper state, making the January update essentially drop a bomb into an already unstable system. So Microsoft's broken December update set a trap. Then Microsoft's January update walked right into it, and users paid the price with their data and their time. No warning, no heads up. Just a dead PC on a Tuesday morning. This is what forced updates look like in practice. You don't get to say no. You don't get to wait. Microsoft decides it's time, your computer agrees on your behalf, and if something goes wrong, which it increasingly does, that's your problem. 20 problems in 1 year. That January disaster didn't come out of nowhere. Windows 11 had over 20 major update problems tracked through 2025. Updates broke File Explorer toolbar buttons. Updates caused keyboards and mice to stop responding inside File Explorer. Updates made fonts corrupt for users in certain languages. Both the October and November 2025 updates caused FPS drops in several games, confirmed by NVIDIA itself, which had to release emergency display drivers just to fix what Microsoft broke. Earlier in 2025, an update caused built-in webcams to completely vanish. HP Spectre laptops, Dell monitors with built-in cameras, third-party webcams, all of them throwing an error. We can't find your camera. And uninstalling the update didn't even fix it. Think about that. You install a security update because Microsoft tells you your computer is at risk without it. The update breaks your webcam. You try to roll it back, the webcam is still broken. You're now less secure and you can't make video calls. That's the deal Microsoft is offering. The new Windows 11 Start menu that rolled out in October is another perfect example of this chaos. Due to Microsoft's controlled feature rollout system, two identical computers running the exact same version of Windows 11 might look completely different. One gets the new Start menu immediately. The other gets it randomly, days or weeks later, with no notification, no explanation. Two users sitting next to each other, Same hardware, same OS version, completely different experiences. Microsoft calls this a feature. Users call it madness. The enterprise nightmare. If you think this is just a home user problem, talk to an IT administrator. Microsoft's own documentation acknowledges that recent update bugs primarily affect enterprise or managed environments, causing the Start menu, File Explorer, and other core system apps to crash or disappear entirely on managed business devices. The problems trace back to updates released from July 2025 onward. Microsoft knew about this for months. Picture managing 5,000 computers in a company. Your employees show up Monday morning. Their Start menu doesn't work. File Explorer crashes when they open it. You've got a support ticket backlog that looks like a natural disaster, and the cause is a security patch Microsoft pushed silently over the weekend. No preview, no opt-out, no, "Are you sure?" This is why users on Microsoft's own forums are furious. One post that was later locked by Microsoft read, "Recent Windows updates have caused complete system malfunctioning. Blue screens, error codes, PC freezing. My computer has become completely unusable since the March 2025 Patch Tuesday update. I wish I had known about these issues. I would have stopped automatic updates. But I've read that many of these updates are pushed automatically whether selected or not. They deleted and hid the complaints. Users noticed that too. The privacy trap? Now, here's where it gets really uncomfortable. While these updates are breaking your PC, they're also building a more detailed picture of everything you do on it. And by default, from the moment you set up Windows 11, most of that collection is turned on. There is no way to stop Microsoft from gathering diagnostic data entirely. When you use Windows 11, information is automatically sent to Microsoft about your device, its settings, capabilities, and performance. Microsoft calls this required diagnostic data. There is nothing you can do about it. Let that sink in. You cannot opt out. It's labeled required. Required for Microsoft, that is. Your consent wasn't part of the equation. But diagnostic data is just the beginning. Windows 11's default configuration prioritizes data collection over privacy. The installation process presents privacy options with language that steers users towards sharing more. Telemetry tracks system performance and usage patterns. There's also an advertising ID, a unique identifier used to personalize ads across apps, and activity history, which logs what you do on the computer and when you do it. And then there's Recall, Microsoft's AI feature that takes screenshots of your screen every few seconds and stores them locally so you can search your past activity. Windows 11's Recall feature quietly captures screenshots of everything you do, and privacy researchers have been sounding alarms about it throughout 2025. Calling it a growing surveillance threat built directly into the operating system. Microsoft says the screenshots stay on your device, but the feature exists. It was built deliberately, and the intent to record everything you do on your computer is clear, regardless of where the data lives. The third-party industry that shouldn't exist. Here's the most damning proof that Microsoft has gone too far. An entire industry now exists just to undo what Windows 11 does by default. Shut Up 10++, one of the most popular Windows privacy tools, now includes real-time telemetry monitoring that shows exactly what data Windows is attempting to transmit. Its latest version provides granular controls for over 200 individual privacy settings, far beyond what Microsoft's own privacy dashboard offers. The tools community has documented cases of Microsoft re-enabling blocked data collection features through routine updates. Read that again. People disable a setting. Microsoft pushes an update. The setting turns back on. You have to disable it again. The update cycle and the privacy violation are the same mechanism. Every time Microsoft fixes your PC with an update, it also has the opportunity to reset your privacy choices back to Microsoft's preferred defaults. Windows 11's 24H2 update introduced what privacy researchers describe as aggressive AI integration through Copilot and AI-powered suggestions, all of which collect additional telemetry to function. Third-party tools like privacy.sexy now document hundreds of privacy optimizations specifically targeting new data collection methods introduced in recent Windows 11 versions. There is now a cottage industry of people building tools to protect you from your own operating system. That's not normal. That's not what a product that respects its users looks like. What users are actually doing, people are responding in the most direct way possible. They're leaving. Google has been quietly working on Android PCs expected to debut as viable Windows alternatives in the low-end to mid-range space. An area where Windows 11 has struggled badly because it's too bloated and unoptimized to run well on affordable hardware. Schools and enterprises are already switching to Chrome OS or iPads because Windows simply underperforms on these devices. The French government announced it's moving to Linux. Munich, which tried Linux, went back to Windows, regretted it, and is now returning to Linux permanently, is done with Microsoft entirely. And ordinary users who never thought about operating systems are now watching YouTube tutorials with titles like How to Escape Windows 11, racking up millions of views. Windows 11's reputation may be at its lowest point ever. 2025 was supposed to be the year Microsoft strengthened it as a replacement for Windows 10, which lost official support in October. Instead, it was a year of non-stop bugs, broken updates, and unwanted features that pushed users past their breaking point. Where this ends, the situation Microsoft has created is genuinely bizarre. They built an operating system that breaks itself through updates, that collects your data without real consent, that re-enables tracking settings you disabled, that gives you no meaningful way to say no to any of it, and then they wonder why trust is collapsing. If Microsoft wants its AI-first vision to succeed, Windows 11 has to stop getting in the way. Users don't care how smart an assistant is when their PC can't install updates reliably or keeps breaking core features. That's putting it mildly. Users don't just want reliability, they want to own their computers again. They want to decide when updates install. They want to know what data is leaving their machine. They want to turn something off and have it stay off. Right now, Windows 11 gives them none of that. What it gives them instead is a system that updates itself into a blue screen, collects data while it's crashing, and re-enables the privacy settings you disabled last month. That's not a product, that's a trap. And millions of people are finally figuring out the exit. If this opened your eyes to what's actually happening inside Windows 11, share it. Because Microsoft isn't putting out press releases about 20 broken updates in 1 year. They're not advertising that your privacy settings get reset by patches. They're not talking about the boot failures, the broken webcams, the crashed File Explorer. They're talking about AI features and Copilot and the future of computing, while your computer sits on a black screen with an error code. That's the gap between what Microsoft says and what Windows 11 actually does. And that gap is why users are done waiting for things to get better.